Hi class, my name is Sarah Jones and this is my poet presentation on Maya Angelou. This is an extremely short timeline of events of Maya Angelou's life. A lot of things happened to her, so I would recommend studying her in depth because she lived a very inspiring life. She was born on April 4th, 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri. At age 3, her parents divorced. She graduated high school at age 17 and gave birth to her only child, Guy Johnson, during high school. She was the first female cable car conductor, and she became a famous performer, including a professional dancer. She married twice, she wrote at least 11 books, and she died on May 28, 2014 in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Here are some of the events that influenced Maya Angelou's poetry. She was raped at age 7 by her mother's boyfriend. She confessed this to her family and her uncles ended up killing the man. She felt so guilty about this, she actually stopped talking and didn't speak for 5 years. This is when she really developed her love for literacy, but also literature. She studied Langston Hughes, Charles Dickens, William Shakespeare during this time. In 1959, she joined the Civil Rights Movement, and she also traveled the world. She performed in 22 countries when she was working in theater, and then she also lived for a brief time in Egypt and Ghana, and she moved back to America in the 1960s. So I think there's a really special thing that we can gain when we study Maya Angelou. She has a really unique writing style. But also, there's just a really special determination and strength you can see from her life, also in her writings. But my favorite thing is the personification of women, including herself, and the embodiment of confidence in her works. Maya exudes an extraordinary joy and confidence in all her writings. Even as I was looking up pictures of her, I only found a small handful of pictures of her not smiling. She has had an incredibly hard life, yet nothing stopped her. There are so many things we can glean from her. So here's the first poem I want to share with you written by her. It's called Caged Bird. A free bird leaps on the back of the window and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped, his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but long for still, and his tune is hard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn-bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but long for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. Alright, the second poem I want to share with you is called Phenomenal Woman. It is such a fun poem. Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. I walk into a room, just as cool as you please, and to a man, the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist, the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the right of my breast, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed, I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say, it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need for my care. 'Cause I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. Alright, now this is my personal favorite poem by Maya Angelou. It's entitled Still I Rise. You may write me down in history with your bitter twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes? Shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard? 'Cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from the past that's rooted in pain I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling I bear in the tide. Leaving behind the nights of terror and fear I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I'm the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Alright, this is the last poem I want to share with you, called Touched by an Angel. We, unaccustomed to courage, exiles from delight, live coiled in shells of loneliness until love leaves its high holy temple and comes into our sight, to liberate us into life. Love arrives, and its in train comes ecstasies. Old memories of pleasure, ancient histories of pain, yet if we are bold, love strikes away the chains of fear from our souls. We are weaned from our timidity. In the flesh of love's light, we dare be brave, and suddenly we see that love costs all we are and will ever be, yet it is only love which sets us free. So here's a little bit of literary analysis for the poems we just read. Regarding Phenomenal Woman and Still I Rise, I think it has kind of the same message about being confident. You know, I love, even though Maya Angelou had gone through so many bad things, she was confident of the woman she is. And that's what, you know, Phenomenal Woman really displayed. Also in Still I Rise, my favorite line is, "'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room." The second quotation from that poem is "Leaving behind nights of terror and fear." You know, I think that Maya Angelou had gone through such a dark period during her childhood, so that is what she is referencing in that poem. But she says after that, "Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear I rise." In Touched by an Angel, she says, "And suddenly we see that love costs all we are and will ever be, yet it is only love which sets us free." I love this because I think it kind of shows the epiphany she had. You know, Maya Angelou exuded this love in her writings and in her life and her activism, and I think that this quote kind of is really the foundation of that activism. Some literary gleanings we can take from this is the repetition in her poetry to make a point. She's constantly rhyming or repeating, you know, different lines just to make a point. Also, she uses first person in almost all her poems. She actually talked about this and just how she wants to make, you know, different struggles and feelings personal to the reader. All right, so this is Maya Angelou's impact on the world. I just want to point out a couple of the awards she was nominated and won for. So she was nominated for a couple Pulitzer Prizes, and then she received the Langston Hughes Medal, Grammy Award, and Presidential Medal of Freedom. She was the first African American woman to do many things, and she was the first poet to speak at an inauguration in over 30 years. So part of our assignment regarding the poet presentation, we were supposed to write a poem that kind of imitated our poet's style. I found this incredibly difficult just because Maya Angelou, has so much confidence in her poems. I think it's easy to write about things that we feel, but it's really hard to write about things we don't feel. And so it can be hard to write about confidence, I think, which is interesting because I think it shows what an amazing poet she is. Anyways, this is my poem entitled Stars. The stars glisten tonight, making the dark night not so black. They twinkle and dance like they hold a secret about the universe and me. I wonder to myself, does my life glisten the way the stars do? Do I dance through life, letting nothing dim me? Do my eyes twinkle, reflecting the hopes and dreams in me? The stars shine tonight, making the ebony night not so gloomy. They sparkle and soar like they hold a message about the world and me. I wonder to myself, do I make the lives of others not so gloomy? Do I soar through the sky? Does my smile sparkle, holding a message that proclaims the world is beautiful and so am I? Alright, so in closing, I just wanted to share with you one of my most favorite Maya Angelou quotes. She says, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. I love this because, there's such a strength and determination in her life that she was determined to make people feel good through her writings and her poetry, and she even used the dark periods of her life to help people feel good about themselves. So I think that's really inspiring. So thank you for watching.